All right, let's jump right in. Today, we are talking about something that could really shake up how we handle massive amounts of data in the cloud. Amazon S3 tables. This is a big deal, and it might just change the way we think about our data lakes for good.
So let me start with a huge question. What if the most annoying, tedious parts of managing your data lake, all the optimization, the cleanup, the performance tuning, what if all of that just took care of itself? That's the core idea we're going to unpack today.
You know the drill, right? For years, Amazon S3 has been our go-to for building data lakes. It's massive, it's durable, it's basically the perfect place to just dump all your raw data, whether it's transaction logs or sensor readings, and figure it out later. But that amazing flexibility, well, it comes with a hidden cost, especially when you're dealing with structured, tabular data. And this is where things get tricky. Because while S3 is fantastic for just storing files, trying to manage actual queryable tables inside a standard S3 bucket, that can turn into a huge operational nightmare fast.
In this quote, it absolutely nails it. It really is like running a giant warehouse with no inventory system. You've got new boxes, your data files, showing up constantly. Without a system to track and organize everything, finding what you need gets slow, stuff gets lost, and the whole operation can just grind to a halt. This just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got the painful reality for a lot of data teams. You're constantly doing manual maintenance, queries are slow because the data is a mess, and trying to change your data structure is terrifying because it might break everything. And on the right, that's the dream. A system that optimizes itself, gives you blazing fast queries, and lets your data change over time without a fuss. Okay, so to fix all that, Amazon introduces S3 tables. And this isn't just another small feature. It's a purpose-built solution designed from the ground up to close that gap between the manual chaos and that automated ideal. So what are they exactly? Well, S3 tables are a whole new category of storage right inside S3, built specifically for analytics. But the key phrase you really got to hang on to is automatically optimizes. The whole point is to take the heavy lifting of managing performance and cost off of your plate and handle it for you. And to make this happen, AWS created a new fundamental building block, the table bucket. Now, this isn't just some software layer you put on top of your old S3 buckets. No. This is a specialized container, a whole new bucket type that's designed to enable all the automated magic we're about to talk about. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this magic actually work? Let's peel back the layers a bit and look at what's happening under the hood that makes this whole self-managing thing possible. It all starts with this incredible open source foundation called Apache Iceberg. Now, if you haven't heard of it, Iceberg is an open table format built for one thing, handling gigantic petabyte-scale analytic tables. And it brings some serious firepower. And this is why Iceberg is such a big deal. It lets you do things like schema evolution, which means you can add a new column to your table without having to rewrite every single old file. It gives you transactional consistency, which is huge for data reliability. And get this, it even lets you do time travel. So you can literally run a query on what your table looked like last Tuesday at 2 p.m. These are absolute game changers for managing data at scale. So Iceberg provides the powerful format, right? It's the blueprint. But the real magic, the thing that makes S3 tables so special, is the layer of automation that AWS builds right on top of it. This is the part that gets rid of all that manual work. So here's a super common problem. Your analytics jobs create tons and tons of tiny little files. And trying to query thousands of small files is super slow. S3 tables sees this happening, and in the background, it automatically combines them into fewer, larger, more optimized files. The result? Bam! Your queries get way faster, and you can even save money on storage. And the automation doesn't stop there. S3 tables also manages your table's version history, or its snapshots, so they don't get out of control. And, maybe most importantly, it acts like a garbage collector, automatically finding and deleting old data files that are no longer being used. This stops your storage costs from bloating over time, and you don't have to do a thing. Now, having a perfectly optimized table is great, but it's kind of useless if you can't actually query it easily. And this is another place where S3 tables just shines. It wasn't built in a silo. It's designed to be the heart of your analytics setup. So because it ties in so tightly with the AWS Glue data catalog, all your S3 tables just pop up, ready to use in all these different services. Whether you're using Athena for quick queries, Redshift for warehousing, or EMR for heavy-duty processing, the data is just there, ready to go. No complex connectors, no moving data around. Now, with all this powerful tech humming in the background, you might think setting it up is a nightmare, but it's surprisingly straightforward. It's really just a 4-step process. You create that special table bucket, you define your table's structure, set up permissions, and that's it. You can start running queries right away. So we've gone through the what and the how. So let's boil it all down. What does this actually mean for you and your day-to-day work?
Well, this table sums it up perfectly. First, less manual work. Think about it. No more writing those tedious cleanup scripts. Your engineers can focus on building things, not just maintaining them. Faster queries mean your analysts and data scientists get answers quicker. Lower costs, because the system is smart about how it stores your data. And all of that adds up to one big thing: simplified operations. And really, if you remember just one thing, it should be this quote right here. The whole point of this is to streamline how you run data lakes at a huge scale. It's about taking that constant headache of manual table maintenance off your team's shoulders so they can focus on getting value from the data, not just babysitting it. And that brings us to the most crucial point of all. S3 tables represent a fundamental shift in responsibility. For years, the deal was AWS gives you the storage, but you have to optimize the data living on it. S3 tables completely flips that script. Now, table optimization becomes a managed service. And that leaves us with a big final thought. We're seeing this trend everywhere in the cloud, right? From serverless computing to managed databases. Is this the next logical step? A future where our data platforms aren't just stored in the cloud, but are actively and intelligently managed by the cloud? It's a pretty compelling vision for where data engineering is headed.